It's your brother Mindbender in the building, aka John Mack, here to restore the J in hip hop journalism. And like we always do about this time, let's kick this shit into fifth gear. Now, on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, I wish everybody a beautiful midday, midweek workday and grandiose and prosperous rest of the week. But let's kick into this commentary so I can open your mind and take you guys on this cosmic journey of bullshit. Now, let's dig into this Eric Holder business. From the very moment I heard the name Eric Holder, my spider senses went off. The reason why is because during President Barack Obama's first term, his Attorney General was Eric Holder Jr. Ironically, the same name as Eric Holder Jr., but the one that killed Nipsey, aka Shitty Cuz. Now, the reason why this story really fucking alarmed me is because it reminded me of something. I had to go back and do a little research and made sure that I crossed my T's and dotted my I's correctly. But assuredly, as my mind kicked into another dimension, I realized that I was onto something and I had to share it with the public. I'm going to jump right into this, so grab your popcorn and your sodas and get ready for this ride. Now, back in 2008, when President Obama was nominated for president, he brought in a young, enthusiastic, charismatic Attorney General named Eric Holder Jr. Eric Holder Jr. was brought up on charges of contempt by the U.S. Congress for an operation called Fast and Furious. Now, what Fast and Furious dealt with was the selling of military grade arms to the Mexican cartel, and then them entail a year later getting into a Western style shootout with the Border Patrol and killing one gentleman. The reason why it was found out that they sold these weapons to the cartel is because two of the weapons were left behind, and serial numbers and other properties were immediately recognized when taken into custody for evidence. Now, you may say, John Mack, what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'm about to open your ass up, so let's go. Eric Holder Jr., the young man that killed Nipsey, and Eric Holder Jr., the Attorney General whom worked for Barack Obama during his first administration, there's a lot of similarities to both of their cases. I mean, you can't make this kind of shit up. And the people that are involved in this case, the way it matches up almost seems like a goddamn fairy tale. But let's go through some of the information. Okay, so you have Eric Holder Jr., who's an Attorney General. You have Eric Holder Jr., who's a Crip. And when Eric Holder Jr. killed Nipsey in front of the Marathon store on March 31st, 2019, when he was arrested 2 days after the crime, the lawyer that came to represent him, well, his name was Christopher Darden. If you know who Christopher Darden is, Christopher Darden was the district attorney working alongside Marcia Clark trying to convict OJ of murder for the propagated murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and her alleged boyfriend, Ronald Goldman. Now, the name Ronald should really wake your ass up, but just hold on to that name. Now, I looked into the background of Christopher Darden and Eric Holder Jr., and this is what I came up with. Eric Holder Jr. belonged to a fraternity called Sigma Pi Phi. Okay? And Christopher Darden belonged to a fraternity called Alpha Phi Alpha. I wanted to know what the connection between those two fraternities are, and I found out that they were both fraternities under the Boule. One being a West Coast branch and the other being an East Coast branch. Now, there are two levels of sorority here. We have one that's collegiate and the other one that's professional. And those are two different branches. Eric Holder Jr. is a part of the collegiate branch. Christopher Darden is a part of the professional branch. Okay? Now, I know a lot of y'all have heard about the Boule and some of their practices, but you're talking about some really powerful men here, very within their fraternity and Masonic order. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this picture here. And what do you notice? What sticks out at you immediately? The fact that Eric Holder Jr., the Attorney General, and Nipsey Hussle look very similar. Very similar. On top of the fact that they both have a dead tooth on the front right hand side of their grill. On the bottom, you'll notice another young man by the name of Prodigy from the group Mobb Deep, whom recently died in 2019 from swallowing an egg whole. This is right after he came out with his Illuminati cookbook. You can't make this kind of shit up.